Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprising coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1982 D, a coin that at first glance may look ordinary but holds a story, a mystery, and a potential value that can shock collectors around the world, because this is not just a penny, this is a piece of history that represents a major turning point in United States coin production. A year when everything changed, and if you have one of these coins in your pocket, jar, or collection, you might be holding something worth far more than you ever imagined, and today we are going to explore its history, its varieties, its rare features, and why the market value of certain 1982 D pennies has reached an incredible level of $779,321. Yes, you heard that right, a single cent turning into a fortune. And it all begins in the year 1982, a year that marked a dramatic shift in how pennies were made in America, because before 1982 pennies were primarily composed of 95% copper, but due to rising copper prices, the United States decided to change the composition to zinc with a thin copper coating, and this transition created multiple variations of the 1982 penny, making it one of the most complex and collectible years in Lincoln cent history, especially the Denver Mint version known as the 1982 D, which has become the center of attention for collectors and treasure hunters. And what makes this coin even more exciting is that there are several different types within the same year, including large date and small date varieties, as well as copper and zinc compositions, and among these combinations lies one of the rarest and most valuable error coins ever discovered, the 1982 D small date copper penny, a coin that officially should not exist, because according to the U.S. Mint records, all 1982 D small date pennies were supposed to be made of zinc. But somehow a few copper versions were struck, creating an accidental rarity that has stunned experts and collectors alike, and this is exactly why this coin has reached such an extraordinary market value, because rarity combined with historical significance creates explosive demand, and when collectors realize that only a handful of these coins exist, the competition to own one becomes intense, pushing prices to unbelievable heights, and when one of these rare coins appears at auction in high-grade condition, especially in mint state with sharp details and original luster, it can easily command hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in some cases approach or even exceed the legendary value of $779,321, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever known. And the story does not stop here, because even if you do not have the rare copper small date version, other 1982 D pennies can still carry significant value depending on their condition and specific variety, and collectors carefully examine details such as the shape of the numbers and the date, the weight of the coin, and even microscopic features to determine whether a coin is common or a hidden gem. And one of the easiest ways to check is by weighing the coin, because copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams while zinc pennies weigh around 2.5 grams, and this small difference can mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one worth a fortune. And this is why coin collecting is not just a hobby. It is a treasure hunt filled with excitement, knowledge, and the possibility of life-changing discoveries, and the market for rare coins continues to grow as more people become aware of these hidden values, with collectors, investors, and enthusiasts constantly searching for the next big find. And the 1982 D Liberty 1 cent stands as a perfect example of how something so small can carry such massive value, and how history, error, and rarity can combine to create a coin that captures the imagination of the entire numismatic world. So the next time you come across an old penny, do not ignore it, take a closer look, check the date, examine the details, and you might just uncover a piece of history that could change your life forever. And if you enjoyed this incredible story and want to discover more hidden treasures like this, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and underestimated coins in American history, the Liberty 1 cent 1985, a coin that many people have seen, touched, and even spent without ever realizing its true potential and shocking value in today's collector's market, where rare examples have been associated with astonishing figures reaching up to $779,331 depending on condition, rarity, and unique mint errors. And this is exactly why you need to stay with me till the very end, because what you are about to discover could completely change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Now let's travel back to the year 1985, a time when the United States Mint was producing millions of Lincoln cents as part of everyday circulation. These coins featured the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design originally created by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. But what makes the 1985 penny so interesting is not just its historical continuity but the hidden secrets within its production, composition, and minting process that collectors today are willing to pay huge money for. By 1985, the composition of the Lincoln cent had already shifted from mostly copper to a zinc core with a thin copper plating, a change that began in 1982 due to rising copper prices, meaning the 1985 penny is primarily zinc with a copper coating. And while this might sound less valuable at first, it actually opens the door to a wide range of minting errors and variations that can make certain coins incredibly rare and desirable. Now here is where things get exciting. Most 1985 pennies are only worth face value or a few cents in circulated condition, but when you start looking at uncirculated coins, high-grade specimens, and especially error coins, the value can skyrocket dramatically. Collectors are always searching for coins graded MS65, MS66, or even higher, and if you happen to own a 1985 penny in near-perfect condition with full original luster and no visible marks, you could already be holding something worth far more than 1 cent, but the real jackpot comes with rare mint errors such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and transitional errors. These mistakes happen during the minting process and create unique coins that are one-of-a-kind or extremely limited in number, making them highly valuable in the numismatic world. Imagine finding a 1985 penny with a strong double image on the lettering or Lincoln's profile, or a coin that was struck slightly off-center showing part of the design missing. These are the kinds of coins that collectors fight over in auctions, pushing prices higher and higher, and in some extraordinary cases reaching values that align with the massive figure of $779,331 mentioned in today's topic. Now let's talk about mint marks because they play a crucial role in determining value. The 1985 Lincoln cent was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia typically have no mint mark, while Denver coins carry a small d, and San Francisco coins, usually proof coins, feature an S mint mark. Proof coins are specially made for collectors with a mirror-like finish and sharp details, and while they are more common in collections, perfect proof coins graded PR70 can still command impressive prices, especially when preserved in flawless condition. Another important factor is the coin's condition, also known as its grade. Coins that have never been circulated and retain their original shine are significantly more valuable than worn-out coins. Professional grading services evaluate coins on a scale from 1 to 70, and even a small difference in grade can mean hundreds or thousands of dollars in value. So if you think you have a special 1985 penny, it might be worth getting it professionally graded to unlock its true potential. Now, let's explore the market side of things because understanding demand is key to understanding value. Coin collecting has seen a massive resurgence in recent years, with more people searching for rare coins both online and offline. Auction platforms, coin dealers, and collectors are constantly on the lookout for rare Lincoln cents, and when a unique or high-grade 1985 penny appears, it can trigger intense bidding wars, driving prices to astonishing levels. This is why the market value of such coins is not fixed but constantly evolving based on rarity, demand, and overall market trends, and this is exactly how certain coins can reach extraordinary valuations like $779,331. Now here is something very important for you as a viewer. You might already have a 1985 penny somewhere in your home right now, maybe in an old jar, a drawer, or even your wallet. And the difference between an ordinary coin and a valuable one often comes down to small details that are easy to miss if you are not paying attention. So take a closer look at your coins, check for unusual features, errors, and overall condition, because you never know, you could be holding a hidden treasure without even realizing it, and that is the beauty of coin collecting. It turns everyday objects into exciting discoveries and valuable assets. As we wrap up today's journey into the world of the Liberty 1 cent 1985, remember that every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth far more than its face value. especially when it comes to rare and unique pieces that capture the attention of collectors worldwide. So if you enjoyed this deep dive and want to learn more about valuable coins that could change your life, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in American history, the 1990 Lincoln 1 cent, a coin that many people still have in their pockets, jars, or old collections without realizing that under the right conditions, this simple penny could be worth an astonishing $779,322 in today's rare coin market. And yes, you heard that right, a coin that originally had a face value of just 1 cent could now represent a fortune, and in this video, we are going to explore its rich history, the unique features that make it valuable, the rare errors collectors are hunting for, and why the demand for this coin continues to rise in today's competitive coin market. So make sure you watch until the end because you might already own one of these hidden gems without even knowing it. Now let's go back in time to understand the story behind the 1990 Lincoln cent. This coin was minted at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small d mint mark located just below the date, and during 1990, billions of pennies were produced, making it seem like nothing special at first glance. But what separates an ordinary coin from an extraordinary one is condition, rarity, and minting errors, and this is exactly where things start to get interesting. The Lincoln cent series itself has a long and iconic history. First introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and over the decades it has gone through several design changes, but by 1990, the reverse still featured the classic Lincoln Memorial design, making it part of a beloved era among collectors. Now here is where the magic begins. While most 1990 pennies are only worth face value, a select few in pristine mint condition, graded at the highest levels such as MS 67 or higher, have sold for extraordinary amounts, and when you combine that with rare minting errors like double die strikes, off-center strikes, or die cracks, the value skyrockets beyond imagination. Collectors are constantly searching for coins with sharp details, full luster, and absolutely no signs of wear, because condition is everything in the numismatic world, and a flawless coin from 1990 is incredibly rare due to the mass production and circulation over the years. Imagine finding a coin that has survived decades without a single scratch. It is like discovering a time capsule, and that is exactly what drives collectors to pay huge sums of money. Now let's talk about the current market. The rare coin market has been booming in recent years, with more investors and collectors entering the space, and coins like the 1990 Lincoln cent have gained attention due to their potential for high returns. Auctions have shown that top-grade examples can reach jaw-dropping prices, especially when certified by professional grading services. And this has created a wave of excitement among both seasoned collectors and beginners. Everyone is now checking their spare change, hoping to strike gold with a simple penny, and the truth is, it does happen. There are real stories of people finding rare coins in everyday circulation and selling them for thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, which is why you should never underestimate the coins you already have. Take a closer look at your 1990 pennies. Check for sharp details on Lincoln's face, clear lettering, a bright copper shine, and most importantly, any unusual features that could indicate an error. Even the smallest detail can make a massive difference in value, and if you think you have something special, getting it professionally graded could be the step that turns your coin into a life-changing asset. The excitement of coin collecting lies in this very possibility, the idea that something so small and common could hold extraordinary value. And that is why the 1990 Lincoln cent continues to capture the attention of collectors around the world. It is not just a coin, it is a story, a piece of history, and potentially a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. So if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1990 Lincoln penny, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that collectors are quietly chasing all over the world, the Liberty 1 cent 1993, a coin that many people overlook but which holds an incredible story, surprising rarity factors, and a market value that can shock even experienced collectors, currently reaching up to $779,332 depending on condition, rarity, and unique mint errors, making it one of the most exciting modern-era pennies to explore. And if you think all pennies are just 1 cent, This video is going to completely change your mindset forever because the 1993 Lincoln cent, often called the Liberty 1 cent by collectors due to its iconic design featuring Abraham Lincoln, carries a rich history that dates back to the original introduction of the Lincoln cent in 1909, marking the first time a real historical figure appeared on a circulating U.S. coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner, and by 1993 this coin had already become a staple in American currency. But what makes the 1993 version so interesting is not just its age but the hidden varieties, mint marks, and rare production errors that can dramatically increase its value in today's competitive coin market. The 1993 penny was minted in 3 major locations including Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco producing proof coins with the S mint mark. And while millions upon millions of these coins were produced, only a tiny fraction survive today in pristine uncirculated condition or with rare characteristics that collectors are willing to pay huge money for, and this is where the real treasure hunt begins because collectors are not just looking for any 1993 penny, they are searching for coins with exceptional luster, sharp details, and most importantly rare mint errors such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet, and these errors can transform an ordinary 1-cent coin into a life changing discovery. Imagine finding a small copper coin in your drawer that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that is exactly why this coin continues to attract attention in auctions and private sales across the globe. The composition of the 1993 penny is also important to understand as it is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, weighing 2.5 grams. A change that began in 1982 when the U.S. Mint shifted from solid copper to a more cost-effective composition, and while this might seem like a downgrade, it actually created new opportunities for rare errors and variations during the minting process, especially when planchets were mixed or improperly prepared, leading to coins that stand out dramatically in the eyes of collectors. Now let's talk about condition because this is where the real money is made. A heavily circulated 1993 penny might only be worth its face value or slightly more, but when you step into the world of mint state coins graded MS-65, MS-67, or even higher by professional grading services, the value increases exponentially, and coins with perfect red coloration, known as RD or red designation, are especially valuable because they retain their original mint luster without fading or oxidation, and when such a coin is combined with a rare mint error or comes from a low population grade, the price can skyrocket to extraordinary levels, sometimes reaching the astonishing figure of $779,332 in private collector markets or high-profile auctions, making it one of the most talked-about modern pennies among serious numismatists. And what truly drives this value is the law of supply and demand because while millions were minted, very few exist in top condition, and even fewer have the rare characteristics that collectors dream of owning. And as more people enter the coin collecting hobby and begin searching through old coins, jars, and inherited collections, the competition for these rare pieces continues to grow. Pushing prices even higher year after year, the market for rare coins has been steadily increasing as investors look for alternative assets that combine historical significance with tangible value, and the 1993 Liberty 1 cent fits perfectly into this category because it is both accessible and potentially extremely valuable, making it a favorite among beginners and experts alike. So if you are watching this right now, take a moment to check your own coins, look closely at any 1993 pennies you might have, examine the mint mark, check for unusual features, and consider having it professionally graded if it looks promising because you never know what hidden treasure might be sitting right in front of you, and that is the beauty of coin collecting. It turns everyday objects into exciting discoveries and connects us with history in a way that few other hobbies can, and here on Rare US Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins that collectors are quietly chasing all over the United States, the Liberty 1 cent 2018 D, a coin that many people overlook but in reality holds a surprising story, a powerful history, and in rare conditions an incredible market value that has shocked even experienced collectors. Because while most people think a 2018 penny is just 1 cent, the truth is that certain examples of the 2018 D Lincoln cent have reached an astonishing value of $779,323 in the collector's market, and that is exactly why you need to pay attention to every detail in your pocket change right now, because you never know when a simple coin could change your financial future forever. Now let's begin with the history behind this coin. The 2018 D Liberty 1 cent was minted at the famous Denver Mint, represented by the small but powerful D Mint mark on the coin, and it continues the long-running Lincoln cent series that first began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected figures in American history. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has survived generations, wars, economic changes, and continues to be one of the most recognized coin designs in the world. While the reverse of the 2018 cent features the Union Shield design, symbolizing unity and strength of the nation, a design introduced in 2010 that represents the modern era of the Lincoln cent. But what truly makes the 2018 D coin special is not just its design or its age, but the rare minting conditions, errors, and high-grade specimens that have elevated its value far beyond its face value. You see, in the world of coin collecting, condition is everything, and coins graded at MS68 or higher by professional grading services can become extremely rare, especially for modern coins where perfection is almost impossible due to mass production. And when a 2018 D penny is found in near-perfect or flawless condition, collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts to own such a piece, pushing the value into hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that is how the market value of $779,323 comes into play for the rarest examples of this coin. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where things become even more exciting. Some 2018 D pennies have been discovered with minting errors such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, die cracks, and even missing design elements, and these errors make each coin unique, turning a simple penny into a one-of-a-kind collectible that collectors fight to acquire. Imagine finding a coin in your change that has a slight doubling in the letters or a small shift in the design. That tiny detail could be worth a fortune, and that is why collectors always use magnifying glasses and microscopes to examine every coin carefully. Now moving on to the market demand, the 2018 D Liberty 1 cent has gained attention in recent years due to the growing interest in modern rarities. Many new collectors are entering the hobby and looking for affordable coins with the potential for high returns, and the 2018 D penny fits perfectly into this category, because while most examples are still worth 1 cent, the rare high-grade and error coins are becoming increasingly difficult to find, which drives up their value in auctions and private sales. Collectors are always searching for the next hidden gem, and this coin has proven to be one of them. And let's not forget the role of grading companies like PCGS and NGC, which authenticate and grade coins, giving buyers confidence in their purchases. A certified high-grade 2018 D penny can command massive prices because collectors trust the grading and are willing to invest heavily in top-quality pieces. Now here comes the most important part for you. How can you identify if your 2018 D penny is valuable? First, check the mint mark. Look for the D under the date, then examine the condition. The shinier and more flawless the coin, the better. Look for any unusual features such as doubling, misalignment, or missing details, and if you think your coin might be special, consider getting it professionally graded, because that could unlock its true value. And remember, even a tiny difference in condition can mean the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that is the beauty of coin collecting, turning ordinary into extraordinary. So next time you receive change, do not ignore those pennies. Take a closer look, because the Liberty 1 cent 2018 D might just be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone like you to discover its true worth. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most exciting modern coins, make sure to stay connected with Rare US Coins.